Okay, so we're going to be checking out today Shadows of Doubt. This is not my first time playing. This is probably like the third or whatever. There has been a major update that's come out just in the past couple days that adds a bunch of modifiers I'm going to quickly go through. We've got Starter Apartment, which has always been in the game. That's just you start with a home versus having to get one. Permadeath, nothing to explain there. When you die, it's over. Iron Man means you get only one save. If you combine these two, Iron Man Permadeath, it does delete your save when you die. And then you have Film Noir, that's just a visual filter that makes everything black and white. Short-sighted, which makes everything blurry if you're not wearing glasses, and if you get punched, you can drop your glasses. Hey, Soul Adams, how's it going? And thank you, Wizard, for the 30 streak. I really appreciate that. You got Gambling Debt, where you're indebted to a loan shark, so you start with a whole bunch of money, but you have to make a payment every single day, or you start being attacked. There is I did see they added some achievements, so like there's an achievement for as the rat detective managing to retire, which is the winning the game. The gambling debt, one of them is paying off your debt. There's house arrest, which is it's just your home building, that anytime you are seen at your home building and not in your apartment, they'll respond to you as if you're trespassing, which this game, they are very violent about trespassing. You got Fame and Fortune, where people run up and want to talk to you or want to get your autograph, that kind of thing. There's Snail Nemesis, which is the one everyone seems to be the most excited about, which is you are invincible from combat damage. A side of contact with a snail. The snail moves towards your current location at all times, even when your case board is open. So basically, unless I go, like, out to the settings menu, the snail's always following me. And I can't do any type of, like, looking at my conspiracy board to, like, figure things out, like, logic through them when I'm there. So I have to always be vulnerable to snail. Which I think the answer there is I would run from one side of the city to the other, pull up my board, and start comparing everything. I'm honestly wondering, with the snail thing, how that'll play out for actually solving the cases, because of not being able to take the time to really think about things and having to like deliberately draw the snail to one hand, like one end of town, wait for it to arrive, then run to the building I want to check. I'm honestly curious how this will work with stream if we do that. And then there's Rat Detective. Rat Detective, you have the ability to climb on walls and ceilings and all that, which is pretty cool, but unfortunately, if people detect you, instead of like conversations, all that, they'll stomp on you. That you're treated as like a hostile entity. So I'm genuinely curious, like even getting when you get like you go to turn in your cases, you have to go to like the police department, like turn them in on their front desk. I'm curious if that's those ones that you drop from the ceiling, turn it in, like run out the door or something like that. It is one I'm not sure how that goes. So with that said, there is Twitch support. So it is one of those things that as people come and go, I could hit this button and there's a chance you could be citizens in the city. So that, well, I said earlier, realistically with this game, I don't see doing this for 4 or 5 streams. So if we do permadeath, unless it happens immediately at the beginning, when I die, that's probably it for the game. Because I don't see myself doing 2 or 3 streams. So that's my hesitation with the permadeath, is realistically if I'm doing that when we die, and this is one of those games that you can just put yourself in the wrong situation, accidentally hit a person, things escalate to a gunfight, and you die. This is a game that accidental death is a very easy to do thing. So with that said, let's make a new game. We are going to do the sandbox mode, because this is like your tutorial mode. With the gunfight, oh yeah, now if you're doing snail mode, yeah, I think realistically what's going to happen with that is I'm going to be trying to figure out the board, and then suddenly we'll just be dead. And like I said, that just means the reality is the game will just end. Like no, very realistically, with the snail, I 100% expect the 2 possible ways I would die with snail mode is either 1, I will be looking at the board, being like, okay, well, we know this person did this, and this person did this, and trying to like follow the logical thread. And then, the snail will touch me because I'm covered my whole screen with the board. Or I will do something like I'll go into a back room to like open the safe, and the snail will get in the doorway and I'll be like, Ah, crap. Because then we get to see if I can, like, parkour over a shelf to try and get around it, which I'm guessing no. Alright, so I'm going to generate a new city. I never do remember, like, the size of the city, how relevant it is. Probably terrible. Bill. Okay. So, we're just going to do a city. You got large, medium, and all that. There's definitely arguments to be made. I've been told kind of for streaming in the past that generally going for medium is one of the better choices, but I'm not going to make good choices. And thank you to follow. Welcome to the stream. All of this is just like if you want to do random seeds. So like, for example, if I play the city, it's like, hey, you got to check out my city. I could send it that way. We can customize. We're not going to do any of that. So continue to the next spot. We have our wonderful detective L Legitimate. So don't worry about that. Game difficulty, I've got it set to normal. I don't actually remember what the game difficulties here do so far as that. You can go in and customize everything in this game. So you can see, like, I want to have more money. You can choose, like, what time of day you start. You can choose how many lockpicks you'll have. Do you want murders to procedurally just happen to give you new cases? Or do you want to have to, like, actually go to the little message boards and accept them? Flickering lights, weather change. Yeah, I wish the drop down when you put your mouse over it would give you more information. You've got game length, so that's basically how, like, the winning the game is retiring, which requires you to, I can't remember if it's like fame or prestige, that basically you get like enough progress that you get enough reputation, like social reputation, that they're like, cool, you're allowed to finish. You could skip the intro, which we're gonna do. There's save game compression and all that doesn't really matter. You have status effects. So, say, like, for example, you don't like the bleeding effect. You could individually say, I don't like the bleeding effect, turn it off. I'm not going to mess with all those, but you get the idea. You can very heavily customize your game. The game does have mod support, though the modding scene, there's some mods there, but it's not particularly strong modding scene. So this is where we have to make our decisions that we've got our options here. Now, the thing I'm going to preface with this is a couple of things. I'm not going to be able to do, like, stream after stream after stream of this game, so realistically, if we play permadeath, we'll probably go until we die, and then that would be the end of it. Unless it's, like, in the first 5-10 minutes. So that is before someone says, hey, permadeath, just know, if we do permadeath, that's what we're probably agreeing to. I'm not doing film noir. The game already is hard enough to see stuff without being black and white. Short-sighted, I'm probably also going to nix for the same reason we nixed it in Project Zomboid and all that kind of stuff. Is just one of those things that ultimately becomes even worse from a viewership perspective, that everything's just blurry. I could see gambling debt. House arrest to me just seems obnoxious. Like, that's fine. Gambling debt sounds good to me. Snail Nemesis is certainly an outlier, and the Rat Detective. Those are the three I'm most interested in. They also might be the ones that have achievements tied to them. Actually, let me see which ones have achievements tied to it. Well, because I am greedy for the achievements. Let's just take a look here. Because the Rat Detective has achievement. The gambling one has achievement. The snail one has an achievement. I think that's the only three. No house and house arrest? Well, yeah, that's why. Well, so the house arrest only applies in the apartment building you live in. So I think if you do not have a house and had house arrest, it would be irrelevant. I'm assuming house arrest by default gives you an apartment. Yeah, no, it says if you start with an apartment, or as soon as you acquire one, you are not legally allowed to leave it. And yeah, so it's just the building security at your apartment will respond. Once you're out and about in the street, I think you'll be fine. You vote Snail and Rat? I wonder if Snail, Rat, and all of that work together. It's a terrible idea. So the gambling debt. It's a terrible idea. Because I'm also curious, since people are supposed... So it says basically if you detect it as a rat, people will try to stomp on you. So I am curious if I'd even be able to pay my debts. Alright, we can do snail and rat. I can get behind snail and rat. How do people feel about snail and rat? So snail, you are invincible... Well, okay. I guess the snail would take away the big negative of rat, because I would be immune to combat damage. So people stomping on you would have no effect. So it would literally just get the benefits of rat without the consequences, other than I guess I wouldn't be able to talk to people, which would be kind of annoying. I do feel like these become antithetical between each other, because like this one, the big negative is, again, people see you, they'll stomp on you, and this one would make you immune to being stomped on. So unfortunately, I do think it's going to be in either... Let's, we can do it this way. Let's do a quick poll. And say, what are we doing? So we'll have rat detective, snail nemesis, gambling, debt. I'll put rat / snail combination. Vanilla's both off? Yes, these are brand new modifiers that got added with the update they released just a couple days ago. Like, I think it came out like the 18th or 19th. I'm seeing or permadeath / Iron Man with no other things going on. Alright, so I got a poll going. And so basically you're weighing in, do you want me to do rat detective, where we're a little rat? Do you want me to do snail nemesis, where we have a snail that will relentlessly pursue us forever? Do you want to see gambling debt, where we'll be horribly in debt and have to pay our dues of that each time? Do you want the rat and the snail together? Keep in mind, like I've been saying, the snail makes us immune to combat damage, so we won't get the negative of rat. And I honestly don't even know if the snail could climb, so it might literally be I could just walk on the walls and completely disregard the snail entirely. That genuinely might be a thing. I don't know the details on the snail. Or permadeath Iron Man, which basically means we have only one life to live. And it'd be Iron Man permadeath exclusively, no other modifiers. And I see we're tying it up because Chad is a bunch of trolls. I'm actually surprised Permadeath Iron Man. Permadeath Iron Man, it might be all the people who don't actually care about the game voting for it to, like, try to end it early. Which, if it is Permadeath Iron Man, I will try to be far more cautious for fairly safe, fairly self-explanatory reasons. I should not have made this a 5-minute poll. There is no just normal game option? No, because the big thing, Flemsneezy, right now is the game modifiers is the new update. So, very genuinely, I have played this 2 or 3 other times with just the no modifiers on, that's already available on YouTube and all that. So, like, right now, the big thing is to check out the new modifiers. Because this isn't my first time playing the game. I played it a couple times before on stream, and I played a bunch off stream, too. I'm no expert or anything on the game, but I am at least somewhat knowledgeable. And as a reminder, probably not best to go out of your way to tie things up, because then one person gets to choose what the thing is by sniping the vote at the end. I know it is a meme to do so on Twitch. Very genuinely, I've been trying to go out of my... I do really just need to do the poll thing where you cannot see the results until they're done, so that if there is a tie, it's organic. And I'll also say, if Rat Snail and Snail Nemesis tie, I will automatically choose Snail Nemesis. So, there won't be a, oh no, what am I gonna choose? So I'm gonna get ahead of that. I probably should have said that at the beginning, because now people will be like, no, but I tied it, now I don't get my vote. Well, that's what you get for being a troll. I genuinely think the rat snail thing is going to not be as fun as people are thinking. I think it's literally going to be comical for about 30 seconds. And then it's going to, very genuinely, I might be able to just literally go on the wall and ignore the snail. And as long as I don't stop and walk on the ground, just utterly ignore the snail. Which would be a huge disappointment to everyone. But at the same time, since climbing on the walls and ceilings, you know, would be necessity because I have to stealth as the rat. I can't make a rule that I'm not allowed to or something, it'd be non-functional. Let's see, you're just wondering how you get a turn and stuff and get clues for people? Yeah, that's honestly the curiosity with the rat. Well, I did have Rat Detective as its own thing, but literally no one voted for it. And at this point, unless, like, 10 people come out of Lurk all at once and all collectively vote for Rat Detective, it doesn't have a ghost chance of getting there. But yeah, and that's, like, genuinely I'm curious. Like, just being able to, like, just drop in. It could also be that maybe the descriptor isn't very clear on it. I haven't tried it yet. It could genuinely be that with a Rat Detective, maybe it's when you're out in the street, they don't mess with you. Maybe there's specific buildings they don't mess with you. Now, it's okay if they do tie. I do ask that people don't deliberately tie stuff like this. Like, obviously, if I'm doing a poll being like, what's better, pizza or tacos, and people want to tie it, that's whatever. But when it comes to deciding what we're doing on stream kind of thing, if you're deliberately voting to tie, you're taking something that less people want to see and artificially inflating it, so you're, like, I view it as actively hurting the channel. Like, I'm not going to ban people for it or anything, because I can't really tell who is genuinely voting for it or whatever. It is a thing that I really wish that Twitch gave the option for blind poll. Okay, so rat and snail. We did go with this. We're going to see how it works. So we'll give it a try, and if it ends up being kind of crap, then we'll just start over. So we do have Snail Nemesis and Rat Detective turned on. So we'll continue that. It'll take just a minute to generate the world, because this is a procedurally generated game, including the crimes and all the people in there and everything. So there's all that. Which does mean every once in a while you get a little bit of a cursed situation. Keep a lookout for paper clips and hairpins. Those could be used for lockpicking. They're 4 unique... Yeah, so you have unique identifiers. I wonder if the rat has to worry about... I'm willing to bet they didn't give the rat, like, any heat resistance or anything compared to, like, the character. Because that was always the thing. You can always sneak around in the air ducts and all that, as is. But over time, if you spend way too long in the air ducts, you'd gradually get too cold. And so you'd start, like, shivering and sneezing and that kind of stuff. Rat has fur? Well, yeah, but that's realism versus video games. And especially considering this is a modifier, I'm willing to bet literally they're just like, you can walk on walls, you can walk on ceilings. You know, your stealth modifier is 1.5 or whatever. Also, when alert, go hostile. Like that kind of thing. So they probably just used their already existing infrastructure, just toggled a couple things type of deal. But yeah, for those who are unfamiliar with Shadows of Doubt, basically the objective of the game is to solve enough crimes to build up your citizen score, rank, whatever, high enough that you're allowed to retire. That's the gameplay loop. So you go around, you solve murders, you help locate missing items or whatever, and you just work through those until such point that you know, basically get a high enough score effectively. The idea is the entire town is run by, like, this corporation and all that. They're very heavy-handed. Trespassing is met with, lethal response. Alright. There's apparently... Are you telling me to raid someone? Because I assure you I will never raid someone who, you know, I am commanded to raid them. Or are you saying we are getting a raid from this person, and you've just jumped the gun and spoiled it? Because both are things you shouldn't do. Have you activated chat integration? I have. Let me check one thing. All right. So, before we begin, let me go ahead and hit this one more time to... Apparently it turned it back off. That's interesting. I had it turned on in the settings before we started stream, but I'll turn it back on. So, enable Twitch citizens and update. All right. So as you can see, we're here. I wish I could see... Oh, you got some gains. All right, so let's first see how bad the response is from people. Hey, lady. Hey, lady. Okay, so they're not super duper aggressive. That's good news. Now, where is the snail, though? Because that's what I want to figure out first. Because I want to get a feel for the speed of the snail and its location. Oh, I don't remember how we... I don't remember how we adjust our movement speed. Oh, you know what it could be? Normally, yeah, okay, so when I don't run, I have no sound. When I run, I have just a little sound. Alright. So, we haven't had a murder happen yet. It usually takes a little while. So what we can do at the beginning is we want to go to various businesses, restaurants, bars, that kind of thing. Never mind, there we go. Okay. So we've got our first murder case has occurred. Someone has died. I do not see a snail. Let's also learn multiple things at once. I'm going to climb up on this wall. Okay, so I can't climb endlessly. So we have... Why can't I get these things to stay? Are you an actual rat? Yes. Okay. So what I want to do is go to the murder case. Man, it's been so long. We need to toggle the map. So we are looking for 1100 Frontier Heights. City Hall. Adams. Lamen. Rosie. Cart. Govern. Destiny's Diner. Plaza. Jason. Fathoms. And the world, like, you stay in the world for a time. So you will learn the area around there. Unknown address. Fathom Zone. I think we made the city too big. It's fine. Okay, so got Frontier Heights. So we want to plot her out there. What is that icon over there? Let's go see what... Should have worn your fur coat. Oh, I think I have to get the actual form for the case, maybe? Alright. That person did not care for me as the rat. Yeah, no, as kind of a thing. That's the reason I made the comment, is... Okay, we have collected the case form. So we need the full name of the killer. We have to arrest the killer. We tried to get evidence that the killer was at the scene of the crime, fingerprints or a photo or whatever. Where does the killer live? Have you located the murder weapon? So now, if I can remember my buttons. And get all that. Alright, so. I still don't see the snail, which is very intimidating. Oh, that's a wrapper. I want to drop that. Now you do have like food, like hunger and all that. I don't believe you can die from lack of food, but stuff like that does start to cause you grief. Nope, it is not a mod. That is the big reason we're playing today. Is they did add additional functionality to the game that adds modifiers to it. And so, like, we're a rat right now, so people won't like me, they won't talk to me, that kind of thing. That person just tripped on trash and hurt themselves. So we are going for 1102. And then somewhere in this town, there's a snail hunting me. Whoa! Shooting at a snail. Come on, man. I'm apparently accruing a fine. Yeah, so I'm a rat, so people don't like me. It's a little aggressive to pull your sidearm to shoot at a rat. So we're looking for 1102. Oh, it's 1102, not 102. Oh, right! That's right, I made the comment that I had suggested against doing the snail and the rat together because I'm immune to combat damage, so I can utterly ignore all the violence. Which is why I was kind of saying it's sort of antithetical, because you can see that the negative is supposed to be the fact that I'm being constantly assaulted as a rat, but instead I can utterly disregard it as a mechanic because we have the snail turned on. Well, no, the idea is the snail mode is they can't hurt you. Okay, so the cameras still do see me. Would you stop shooting at me? I know it doesn't matter, but it is obnoxious. Okay. So now I gotta remember how this even works. Alright. Search and analyze. Okay, we've got a bullet wound. We got a bullet wound from a 932. After examining the body, it appears the victim has been violently shot to death with a pistol or revolver. I can determine the time of death was between 1750 and 1830. Alright, so we got the time of death. We've got the unknown citizen information. So they have the fingerprint type A and nothing else we know about them, really. Other than they're non-binary, they have like their shoe size, all that. But you get the idea. We got a bunch of random information about them. Take their fingerprint. It's a heel size 10. Footprint heel size 10. What is your footprint size? Shoe size 16. Okay. So the other person in here has a shoe size 10. We got a fingerprint B. So fingerprint B is probably our suspect here. Because it is things at a bullet hole. Yeah, they put a pin in it. We got fingerprint C. That is probably someone else involved. Likely not our suspect, because we had fingerprints of the bullet housing. I'm imagining the snail will open the door. As counterintuitive as that might sound. Alright. So I'm trying to do right now is see if we can't isolate who does belong here and who doesn't. There's combustible fuel under the bed? And I'll inspect these when I'm not in the middle of being somewhere I ought not be. A rather expensive looking ring. A box of deer slug ammunition. A bloodhound tracker. Remember your password. Okay. So I've got the password 8274. Okay, let's check our inventory real fast. Inventory. Man, it's been so long with the game, it's taking so long to remember how to get through. Okay. Drop. We have both their passwords, because people in this game always write down their password somewhere. Okay, we've got the business card for one of the people here. Definitely something clipping through that. Literal cash. Now, where it says illegal action, I am committing a crime. That doesn't mean I actually owe that money. What that means is if I get caught, I owe that money. Nothing in the trash can. No sign of the snail yet. Alright. So, we have Coda. So, Coda Okta. Oh, do you keep going past there? No? It should be by last name, so it should be Okta in here. There it is. So Coda Okta. So this is your apartment. We have your contact information. So you can combine all that. So all this is found here. You're the head of HR. And I believe you've got your address book here. Alright, so these are people that they know. And then the common area would be, again, the apartment here. So let's just rearrange this a little bit. Oh, you know what I should check? Let's see if there's a fingerprint on the, business card, because that would help me identify who they are. Okay. So with that, I believe our unknown citizen is going to be Coda Okta. So let's go here. And I gotta remember how to do the pins. How do I do the pins? Okay. Create string. Green. Create link. I get in trouble because I'm trying to remember how to do the controls. Create link. I do dislike. Here we go. So red. Let's see. New custom connection to there. Make it green to mark ones that I've made. Yeah, so I believe that's Coda Okta that are our victim. Whereas the person living here with you is C. So we check on this board. Fingerprint B again is, I believe, our murder suspect. And yeah, I should find the other one here. So let's also check. Well, I mean, you're probably not going to have addresses for both of them. So all of these people are potential suspects. So if I don't find anything pointing at any specific individual, they'd be one of the next ones we go after. At the shopping list. Okay, we got their work schedule. Rides is your right. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna set that aside. Door's still not been messed with, so I assume we're still fine. To the jerk who keeps standing outside my door messing with my mat. Cut it out, or I'll call the enforcers. You know who you are. I don't think that'll be relevant to anything, but we'll grab that. Get the calendar. We got an advertisement, so that might be someplace that the guy frequents. Alright, did you have a computer in here by chance? We got ourselves some free candy. Alright. I didn't see a computer. But I feel like I'm missing a whole room. Alright, so note 1. We could just hit that. Nope. Note 2. Okay, we have a pistol silencer in here with person C's fingerprints on it. So person C just became a suspect as far as I'm aware as well. So this is a curiosity. So I got a bullet shell over here. I no longer have a bullet shell? There was bullet shells on the floor in here. That got fingerprint B on it. Okay, so you got an expended 8mm one. So we're going to continue assuming that our primary suspect is whoever matches with the fingerprint. Yeah, because that's not the right ammo. I'll mark that as being here. Okay, we still don't see the snail. If I can remember up here, we should have the log here. What I want to do is I can go to my inventory. Inspect. Put here. So that here has the fingerprint on it. And so this heal might actually be, it could be either be their roommate or the person. So yeah, so this is the ammo to the murder weapon. So, I think we've grabbed what we can out of this room here. There's another advertisement that could be related. Those can all be places that they frequent. Alright. They're knocking on the door? Go away, lady. I'm hoping I can get a look at her to check her fingerprint. I'm a little worried about the snail. Are you going to be kind enough to stay back? Hey. All right. Okay, so numbers. Let's see. We can identify the number to this phone. Let's pin that. That's the number for this phone. And we can identify the last caller. Okay, so we weren't able to get the last caller information. She's camping the door and I don't like it. And none of these windows seem to be operable. I think realistically what happens is I de-aggro her and then I make a break for it. The concern being is I've been here for a while and I have no idea how all over the place the snail gets or how fast it moves. There's a very good chance the snail will be either nearby or on its way up the stairs. Have HR found the motive? Don't be terrible. Watching for snail. Watching for snail. Ow. Found the snail. You pass out, you'll awaken soon. I wonder if I could literally just let them attack me and then just fingerprint scan them. Did we see the snail? Very, very briefly. Attempt to escape without paying my medical fees. Oh, you're... I may have cornered myself. Oh, goodness. Got an achievement for not paying my medical fees. Alright. Oh, okay, there's my flashlight. Alright, so let's consider what we've got. So we have someone with fingerprint type B with the cartridge. They're clearly the ones with the murder weapon. We have the people in their address book that are a list of potential candidates. So our most likely suspects are going to be someone where they work. That's one strong possibility. Or it's going to be one of the people at one of these addresses. So right now, I'm leaning towards going to their workplace. I think that's where we start. So we check their workplace. That's Jade Limited. Go on the map. All right. Would you go away? You wonder what rat meat tastes like? Calm down. Hey, hey. Hey. Look. I just want to be a chef. A little chef. All right. So, I know they can't hurt me, but it's gonna be really hard for me to do anything meaningful if I'm spending the whole time being assaulted by them. Alright, so we've evaded them. Alright. Annoying. Yeah, imagine with this, you're gonna be doing a lot more running through ducts and all that. Versus I'm treating it kind of as if I'm a normal person. Just because of the snail that'd be pursuing us. You, okay, so you're drunk. That's fine. Alright, so I'm not seeing a place to control any of this. Wait, you know what? I don't care. Because I'm immune to damage. Alright. Close this door. So hopefully with the snail. We can deal with that. Alright. So let's start checking things. So we don't know what the combination is necessarily going to be here. But it could happen to be... Alright, so the head of HR does not have the key combination to the safe. Let's start rifling around for potential evidence leads. We did find a key. Alright. It'll see if we can't find anything. Yeah, so I've got the admin password. Eight, 2, 7, 4. It's not gonna be them, because it's gonna be the Loran. Oh, right, and we have to be able to log into that computer to, turn off the cameras. Alright, wait till it rotates away, so I don't have to listen to the beeping constantly. Don't have any food. Salt. Got a paint bucket. Chemical bottle. Fire extinguisher, salt and pepper. Okay, so we've got the combination to the door and everything. Would you be quiet? Chemical bottle. Megamite? Pungent yeast. Tinned food. Tinned food. Battery. Oh. Am I bleeding? How am I bleeding? I'm supposed to be immune to damage. Other than the snail. Tinned food. Oh my god, please. Alright, let's deal with the cameras. Immune to combat damage, do you fall or something? I don't think so. Alright. So I believe we have your password. Which is you. So it's 5242. Is that not right? Oh, 4542. 4542. 4542. Okay, so you got your profile. Cool. That gives me that information. I can add you to the board as a potential suspect, your coworker. You can look at your mail. Let's see. You don't care. Lauren, kindly stop putting anything except Vmail in the tubes. Our janitor staff is having difficulty constantly removing your clothes. Furthermore, what's wrong with you? I don't think that's relevant for anything here. Can't be at the hotel tomorrow. I think you know who is on to us. Not sure, just suspicious. Lay low for a couple of weeks before till M loses interest. Alright, let's go ahead and mark that out for something later. That they're apparently having an affair with someone that may or may not be related to this at all. Let's see. Cornambia, unleash your potential with program power. Don't care. Reminder. Let's see, my love. Don't forget to pick up milk on the way home. Okay. So apparently having an affair on their wife, whatever, so probably totally uninvolved in any of this. Final warning, you need to get me enough crows to get our mutual friends back off by tomorrow. I can't hold them much longer. You know what I mean. Oh, so this could be related to it. That... Oh, in this particular case... Could be, Sorry, trying to move these around. So yeah, so... Oh, in this particular could be them. Attention all employees. I do not wish to repeat myself with last year's debacle. Attendance at the candor party is mandatory. That's not important. That's not important. Founders Day dinner. Real quick reminder that Gen Founders Day dinner is coming next week. Be sure that doesn't matter. Your reservation. Dear customer, we're confirming your rolling reservation at Destiny's Diner is coming soon. Saturday at 6 p.m. I doubt that's related to anything, but I'll grab that as well. Yes, I very much doubt that's related to literally anything. Okay. The door's still intact. Could you remember to bait open? Let's see, I know I'm not supposed to keep this note. Code for your office. So you're the company director. Cool. We want that. So that's your employee contract. So you pin that location. Because that... probably gonna be our next stop. That's just a toilet. It's not anything we care about that much. Chemical bottles, chemical bottles, chemical bottles. Okay, so this is another coworker. Ah, okay, so O might also be this person. But that's a fingerprint we don't know yet, so that's not someone involved in our case that we're aware of. You're supposed to be the camera room. Did I not finish checking all this? Oh yeah, we didn't finish checking everything. World's strongest rat. Employee database. We'll check that in a minute. Security. Cameras off. Alarm off. 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 Okay. They turned off all the security. So we were spotted going in. I just heard a door. Hang on. I got a game to play, man. Okay, I don't think the door was for us here. Alright, oh, one thing I should be doing. Got fingerprints any on this? Okay, that's a new set of fingerprints, so probably not our person. Hey, that fox lady, how's it going? Or that lady fox, my apologies. Any fingerprints here? None that we see. Oh, wait. Fingerprints F. Fingerprints E. Fingerprints E again. So that's Olga. That's, Okay, so what we need to do is we are getting the hungry. How do I... I don't remember how we actually... Oh, I might need a thing to actually do it. Yeah, so... I'm trying to remember how we eat any of this. I also probably won't be able to do anything with that diamond, unfortunately. As amusing as that is. Okay, so let's check our inventory because we're getting hungry. Oh, right. I just hold the button. And then we litter. That's a different set of fingerprints. Fine, whatever. Different set of fingerprints. Different set of fingerprints. Yet more fingerprints that are not what we're looking for. Okay, so it's looking like... probably a bust on the coworkers. Yeah, because what we're hoping to find here is those fingerprints. I believe they were B. We find the fingerprints B here. That would be we have a coworker who was at their house. Okay, there is Alright. Okay, that's a bunch of ingredient information. I will say that constantly like having to jump up and down. I would not want to do a full playthrough like this. Alright. Interesting that every one of them has different fingerprints on them, like they hung them up themselves. Okay. So you've got you. Well, let's go ahead and pin all the coworkers. Just in the chance that any of this becomes relevant. Because we haven't ruled any of them out for sure. But we definitely haven't confirmed any of them at all. So what we'll probably start doing is, since we didn't have anyone obvious at work come up, because I believe it was Olga... No, actually, is Olga our victim? No. So our victim here is Chao Yang. No, that can't be right. No, you're Coda. Wait, what? Do you not have your... Oh no, you have a different hair color. Okay. Yeah, it's whatever. That's fine. That's interesting that I guess HR doesn't bother putting its own face on the board. Unless I've got some red herring that I've got a misdirection. Alright, so we're going to end up having to approach this differently. So the way we can start this is just start tracking down different people's addresses, see who they are, and do that. So let's get our first address here. That's right, Snail. I'm figuring you're on that stairwell somewhere. Oh, I should have done G for ground floor. Alright, so we need a drink. This is a pharmacy. Okay. Just yelling, "Oh God, please," when I walked up to him. I believe there are vending machines I can also get at. Yeah, this also means I can't do any of the upgrades, most likely. Actually, let's see here real fast. Don't have any of those available. Yes, I'm looking for... Oh my God, please. Go away. I just want to steal a snack. I'm a thirsty rat. Let's see. We've got... bunch of medical stuff, smoke, cigars, tobacco. Stop it. I'm trying to get myself a drink. Okay, so that's back the way we came. Alright. I'm getting the bandage icon as if I did lose, or I did, get hurt in a fight. Oh, it's vodka, that's fine. Hey man, I'm just gonna go to your bar. Don't mind me. Here. Actually, I don't think... There. You can go grab your tin food. Get out of the way, I need a drink. Get out of your way, I need a drink. Alright, so let's go here. Grab you. Look, I'm trying to have a drink. There, now we're not thirsty. We're just a little super drunk. And not entirely sure what's going on in our life. Okay, so we want to find that place, which I can't seem to at the moment, because everything is pursuing... Oh, okay, that's just debris. Oh my god, please. Alright, so we got our arrow. Let's give a moment for the alcohol to wear off, as well as for the people to stop pursuing us. And then we're gonna go check this next resident. Pretty much what we're trying to do right now... What are you shooting at? I'm very, like, you very clearly cannot see me. You're just shooting at. Alright. Just the whole everywhere you go, people shooting in violence. Like, it was with a snail, I'd probably just be going around really slowly, ignoring all of... Like, just going around slowly and being a little bit more sneaky, staying on the walls, because it seems like they don't really notice you that much on the wall unless they're already aggroed. Yeah, so we're checking the first person. I also don't know what the DNA thing on the top of my screen over there pulsing means. Okay, so you are apartment 703 we're looking for. 702. I'll get there, don't worry. Hey, okay, I got an achievement for taking a fingerprint while drunk. Oh, that's great. So I get L, J, and K. And M. Alright, so this might seem premature, but we're going to rule that address out. And the reason we're going to rule that one out is we checked all the things in the door. None of the fingerprints matched. So we're just going to move on to the next one. We're going to look to see if we can't find anyone related to this whose fingerprints match. Come on. Think I got it? Are you in the same building? Let's actually... Yeah, we'll get to that one and we'll start checking the individuals there. Look, I'm just a casually drunk rat. It's just what happens. Life comes at you fast, and you have a few too many. Okay, so let's do a quick thing. So we're going to that location. We're good here. We're good here. All right, cool. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that one, and what we'll end up doing is we'll try and go by building. That way, when I'm running around in a building, I can just quickly check. Because all I really want to do is run up, and I want to keep fingerprint scanning the doorknobs as our first wave. Because if I find those fingerprint bees on a doorknob, then I know I've got what our primary suspect is. That our primary suspect is all that. Okay. The alcohol will eventually wear off. Which is good. Because this is pretty rough. I do wonder if the snail can pop open doors or not. Huh? And it's 202? Alright. N. O. P. Alright. So let's run over here, climb up the wall to the ceiling for a second. Alright, so that one, we'll rule that out for right now. You know, you're saying ruling it out, I'm not hard ruling out. Like, we can potentially go through. Okay, so we did that one. So now I've got the heights. Let's grab this pin. Drag it down there. We're checking out all the ones that are frontier heights or whatever it is. So frontier heights. So you got 103. That's another one. So these are probably all your neighbors. Okay, so we got 101, 103, 1203. That's also a 101. We got 102, or we got 1002 Frontier Heights. We've got 203. Alright, so she knows half the building, which is not super convenient for the... Oh, I picked the actual pin for the person. In hindsight, I probably should be doing the pins, but that's fine. We'll start with these. So there's 702. There's 901. I'm going to need you to be less popular so that I have less suspects to go through. It's very not thoughtful of you to make me have to investigate all of these people. Okay, so it looks like other possible addresses left. We got all those from Premier Heights. I've got this run from Shaney Towers, which I'll drag down here. We've got this one from Walker Building, which will drag down there. We got another one from Shaney Tower. And we got the Olson House. Has one address. Now we've already checked the other ones. Okay, so with that, we will start with our first candidate at 101. I don't see the snail down here. Yeah, so I'm taking the strategy of the snail of not minding putting a bunch of time in the upstairs. but then using the elevator because then the most likely place. Broken leg, movement speed penalty. That's not fair. I'm supposed to be immune to combat damage. That's the perk of having a relentless snail that follows me forever. Alright. Yeah, so the snail thing is interesting. I'm kind of finding the rat as just being like, okay, it's just kind of a weird quirk. But probably something to not actually care that much about. Like, I definitely would not want to do any type of a meaningful run as the rat. So I need 101. The good news is the alcohol's starting to wear off. So we got O fingerprint. Please. We got R. Please, for the love of everything is holy. S T U V W X. Hey, Nuclear, how's it going? Alright. So, we can take that first one, and we'll unpin that. So we have someone on 203, so let's go up one floor. No sign of the snail. So 202, 203. Fingerprint type B. All right. So, if you remember, we care about fingerprint type B because it was on the expended bullet casing in the house with the body. So that is our primary suspect. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff off of here. Because fingerprint C, I believe, was the other person living with them. So this is our this is the one we're thinking is the person. So let's go to our address book. So let's see who was 203. Foundation, we'll get them marked. So 203, there we go. So Aisha, whatever her name is. So yeah, you are our primary suspect right now. We don't have any information about this person. We're gonna figure it out. Now, what I can try and do here is desperately while drunk attempt to lockpick. Hi. Hey, if you don't mind, could I just get a peek at that hand of yours? Oh, this is so much worse to try and do. Come on, let me see the hand. Let me see the hand. Let me see the hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give. Look, I am just a drunk rat trying to get a fingerprint on a suspect, if you don't mind. What? Excuse me. Right, get out of here. Considering I'm basically immune to damage. Okay, we've got our passcode. There is her full name. What we're looking for now is the murder weapon and all that. Alright, so we can grab you. Literally nothing in her safe. Oh my god, please. So see, we can't get through all this because we still need to find the murder weapon, all that. I'm pretty sure she's our she's the one who did it. Could you not sneak up behind me and punch me in the back of the head? I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so let's inspect that. Alright. So you are my suspect. Because your fingerprint was on the bullet casing that was at the scene of the crime. And so we don't have a whole lot about you other than that. So I don't know why you did it. Because so we know where they live. We have not located the specific murder weapon. We have gotten the fingerprints to identify them. We can arrest them, and we do have their full names. So the only thing we're missing for potentially extra bonus is the murder weapon. New match. Noise complaint. Yeah, so nothing on their computer that has anything to do with anything. Murder weapon! Murder weapon! We have located the murder weapon. I appreciate that they just left it on their counter. Okay, let's grab the information here. That's my murder weapon now. Yeah, like, I'm sitting here, like, going in the safe, being like, where did you hide the murder weapon? She's like, yeah, it's just on my kitchen counter, don't worry about it. So, the thing I need to do is I will need to go and get some cuffs and all that to arrest our person. Which I'm curious how that'll go, if I can even really make that happen. That's your work rotation. I don't really care about that. Usually you can find what their motivation is. Would you go away? Alright. I can't... I'm supposed... Oh, did I hit the snail? I didn't see. I must have hit the snail. Oh, well, I didn't mean to go back to sleep. Okay, we're energized and hydrated and everything. Alright. So, what I'm going to need to do is inventory-wise... Oh, they took the murder weapon. You know what? It's probably fine. Would you knock it off? I need a pair of handcuffs. Do I not have... I have no money. Alright, well, I'm just not going to arrest the person. Alright, so... Meanwhile, while we're taking shots, resolve the case. Okay, what is the full name of the person? Select. It is Ashna Gloxer. Have I arrested the person? No, because I can't afford handcuffs. Do you have evidence that places the killer at the scene of the crime? Identified fingerprints? Yes, I do. We have an expended bullet casing from an 8mm pistol that was at the scene of the crime. Where does the killer live? No problem. We can do that too. They live at 203 Fournier Heights. Have you located the specific murder weapon? Optional. Yes, I did. That pistol. Now, if I would have arrested if I arrest the killer, I mean, I get an extra $350. But how can I get... Okay. So how much is the handcuffs? Yeah, so the immunity to combat that the racket, or the thing causes, is very not complete. So I only need 25 bucks. I can probably easily steal that from somewhere. Would you go away? All of you just go away. I am tired of everywhere I go, everything attacking me. I just want $25 so I can you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to arrest them. We're just going to do this. So resolve. I've got all the information entered. Plot route to hand in. It's fine. I am very disoriented as to where it wants me to go. They take rats very seriously here. Oh. Case is being submitted. Case processing. Alright. We got the full name of the killer. We did not arrest them. Okay, I'm sorry. The bullet casing should have counted. So it didn't give me credit for the bullet casing being at the scene of the crime, but it gave me credit for everything else. New perk. You can now purchase apartments in the city. So we've gained our social credit level 2. Okay, so while we did get that case done, I think I am over the rat thing, so we're not going to like stop playing the game, but I'm just going to make a new city because holy crap, that everywhere you go, everyone is just constantly kicking off is really obnoxious. We are going to use the same city and not bother generating a new one, but my god. So yeah, we'll keep the snail. The snail stays, but rat detective could go die in a fire. It's a neat gimmick. Yeah, we'll do the gambling debt and the snail is what we'll do. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a neat idea, but I think in practice what you really need to do is just like run along the walls and all that and over ceilings. And do that, which is kind of neat. I don't think I'd want to do in this game. The snail seems fine. The only problem is with the rat and the snail, because you're so low to the ground, you don't see the snail coming either. Because the 2 times the snail caught me, I literally just ran into it. I didn't see it. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think the snail even has like a little glow effect around it. From what I saw of the screenshot, it was like there's this little glowing area. Maybe not. It could have been they turned that on to show you what it was for the like trailer of it. Now, technically, this is a brand new start. We're just reusing the same city. I won't have any of the information we just gathered. We won't have the money we just got. But yeah, the whole thing with the rat is just obnoxious. Now, with this, I did choose the one where we're horrifically indebted. So I have to pay each and every day the loan shark I borrowed money from. And then we still got the snail running around. Oh, I apparently got an achievement just for choosing that mode. Okay. So we got a little bit of lag. Alright, let's go inside first before we try and figure out what we're doing. Because it is cold enough, it's complaining about me freezing to death. And the camera is shaking very violently. Alright. Lost glasses. Okay, we got our first case of lost glasses. So, last seen at Olsen House between floors 1 and 3. If found, return to Ander at Olsen House. Or staff at Jacobs Incorporated. So let's go and set our thing there, because we're going to make a solid $30 if we manage to... Okay, well, we're already at our destination. So is that Olsen House between floors 3 or 1 and 3? Last seen at Olsen House between floors 1 and 3. This is floor 1. This is floor 2. Is it 1 or my... Oh, you're right, it's -1. So the basement is also included as well as the ground floor. So we are seeing if we can't find some glasses. While we wait for a murder thing to happen. Hey! There's a lockpick. Now, it is possible that it's in someone's home or whatever. I was expecting to be able to search the trash cans. That said, I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of effort into it because it was $60. Okay. So, outsource arrest required. Enforcement division. Handcuffs required. Suspect may be armed and dangerous, except at your own risk. Maybe not start with that. I don't have money for handcuffs. Oh, never mind. I do have money for handcuffs. Another one for arresting a dangerous individual. We've got an apartment for sale. Public humiliation required. Okay. So I got... both of these are dangerous ones. So details. Pursue the current objectives detailed in the job notice about the job. Starting to worry about this snail. I also don't know where we pay back our loan shark. How does that work? Do we have a way to easily see loan? Create sticky note. Select no case. Go off duty. I guess I'll figure that out. Do I want to try and arrest someone who's armed and dangerous? Yes, let's do it. Why not? Alright. Don't pin that one here. Alright. Pursue the current objectives, deal to the note, acquire more information about the job. Telephone number acquired. Okay, so we actually have to identify the suspect and arrest the suspect. Okay, so let's start by going to City Hall. And City Hall is where? First, I do not see a snail. Okay, that's City Hall. Plot route. And turn in cash. Turn them into cash. Rare discs. We don't have rare disc. Discrete individual photography. I'm not going to worry about the photos right now. I need a pair of handcuffs. Confirm. So put those away before I get in trouble. Okay. So, with that, we have an unknown citizen with fingerprints A, and we have an unknown number. The unknown citizens, the thing we know is we know their fingerprints, we know they're skinny, and we know that that number is associated with them. So we need to find the number 2711940. I hate to look this up in the telephone book while I have a snail slowly tracking me down, plotting my immediate demise. Oh, that's not gonna work. So 2711940. I can't talk right now. How are you doing? Could be worse, I guess. Good evening, what's your name? I'm Wendell Clayton. Why? Have you heard anything unusual? Seen nothing at all. Goodbye. Whatever. I appreciate that they're so willing. Okay, so we've actually got a murder case to deal with. So yeah, so generally speaking, I prioritize the murder cases, because those happen kind of organically on their own. So let's go get that information. So now I've got a bunch of different things I can work on. Okay, so they're going to be on to the murder case. So we want to explore the... Okay, we're fine. Just a container of milk that I'm being scared of. So unpin that. Said unpin that, that's unrelated. Okay, so deadly director, so we need to go to 1202 Johnson. Is there an easier way to... Okay, checking. No sign of mollusk threats. Alright, so let's take 2 seconds to try and go and find... So we need to find Johnson. And we've got... you, there's the heights. Unknown. Fathoms. Unknown. Walker. Unknown. Mysterious merchant. Unknown. The Fathoms. Pelican. Oh, that's the bar name. We need the actual building name. Okay, Johnson Park Grounds. So there's our route. So I want to go over here and see what we can figure out. But the thing that's neat about this game is it's not one of those things that you, when you're playing the game, it's not like you get a case and it wipes out all the information you know. You slowly kind of build up who you know in town, who works where, and some people will move around, especially as you cause unfortunate accidents. Hey, friend. And so it's just kind of one of those things. So you can slowly build up your documentation of the area. And new people will show up as you get rid of people from being arrested or anything like that. Alright, so we are going to... oh, it's 1202. Well, in that case, I'm taking the frickin' elevator. Alright, so let's go up to floor 12. Now, what's going to happen this time is unlike last time where I was the rat and I was able to just kind of like very quickly just sneak in past everybody. I'm probably not going to be able to do that. They're going to have everything secured and taped off and all that kind of stuff. And with the snail tracking me where I'm immune to combat because of it, which now I think about is going to make dealing with the loan shark not that big a deal. We'll just plan to just pay the loan shark. We'll pretend like they're going to kill me. Well, that's inconvenient. Alright, so we got a lot of people snooping right now. I might be able to sneak past and go for that vent. And potentially work my way around there. Alright. We got a person hanging out right below us. So I think the reality is I gotta draw the people away. And there's too many right there. I need the camera to turn. And quick, we're going to start freezing. Okay. So I did see the box for turning off the camera. Don't notice me. Okay, so we're going to search the body. We got a sharp blade wound. Was to be violently slashed to death with a bladed weapon. Okay. Give me your fingerprints. Alright, let's try that again. Do I have your... Why are you being weird about giving me your fingerprints? Okay. Cool, so we got your fingerprints. Yep, so fingerprint type B. We've got the blood pool and all that. That's not really evidence. So we don't see a murder weapon nearby. So some of the things we're going to check. So there is another set of fingerprints in here. So one of our suspects could be fingerprint C. We got fingerprints D in here as well. We have two other sets of fingerprints in here. So it's marked that as being at the crime scene. And this is being at the crime scene. Give me the paperclip. That's a book we don't care about. We have your wallet. Yeah, so the victim is Elliot Simon, and this is their home. And we stole a little bit of their money. They're dead. They don't need it. We're going to grab the skill disc. Okay, Elliot, come to dinner on Friday. You got a divine bottle of Chateau of Arc. And some delicious gops. Alright, so we've got a potential other person here. That they were supposed to meet with this alien person that we don't know. Oh no, don't unpin those. Obviously I want the victim's information available. Alright. So there's our suspect. Is Aelin down there. There's your password. Love to see it. We got Elliot's business card, so we know where they work. Let's see, a painkiller. We're not going to worry about that. Perfume. So we've got a second business card for what we would presume is their spouse. So that's a suspect. You got a pair of nice shoes that are heel size 10. We've got apparently dirty laundry literally everywhere. Then we got a size 12 shoe. So size 12 shoe, is that you? Okay. So with that, we have, if I can remember how to pin these, I'm going to die to the snail trying to figure out a bunch of these. Is it Let's see. We want to slide that down. Pin all connections. Well, that's good that they added that. They didn't used to have that. So I want to make a new connection. New connection. New custom connection to the business card, blue, confirm. So blue ones are ones that I have gone and said, I think this is a thing. That way, if we run into a contradiction, we know the stuff that is true versus the stuff we guessed. So there's Elliot's employment information. So we'll know where they work. We can deal with all that. Okay, and we can take your password that we found up here. That is not the password for that. Means the password is most likely not for this either. Okay. So note. So 4, 3, 4, 3. Okay, so you got your profile. That's fine. Please help. Thank you for the note. You may be suffering from mild paranoia, common side effects of the medications I prescribed. So that's the doctor. Dr. Do, I'm sorry to send our message, but I need help. I can't shake this feel that someone is following me. I've been going on for days, but I've never seen anyone, but I feel them watching. A stranger with black hair? Alright. So, they noticed a person with black hair following them. So let's go and add a note here. As soon as I remember how to do that. Let's see. New sticky note. Suspect has black hair. Alright. Stalking. Thank you for submitting the report. Report for enforcement, yada yada. You're being stalked and harassed. The cleric will assist you within 10 working days. Incidents. Hey, Oscar, real quick question. Can you send me your team stats this year's safety incidents? You can exclude the explosion and collapses and depressurizations, but don't bother with the you can include those, but don't bother with dismemberments. I don't think that's related to anything, but I'll take that just in case. About later. Hey, my love. I finally got that travel approval to go visit my mother, but of course it's only valid for today. But I have to leave now, and I won't be home until late. Don't worry. I'll see you later. Love, Elliot. Okay. I don't think that's related, but we'll go ahead and grab it. Alright, drones, I've had it with your slacking off. Why do you keep hearing with all this whine about going home, eating lunch, or we are here to do jobs, do them well. The board of directors is proud. This is your last warning. No more complaints. Elliot. And that's to Oscar from Elliot. And that's to Oscar. So Oscar's the one I'm kind of standing at as our primary suspect right now. Flare quotes. That's garbage. Don't wait up. Hey, sweetheart, going out with friends. You don't want to hear me whine about this last time. I don't want to hear you whine about it this time, yeah? That's kind of a jerk move. Because we appreciate you joining the Kensen Corporation members only business brunch. Yeah, okay. So, we've got right now our primary suspect is probably going to be Oscar. That's what I'm thinking. So let's quickly check here. I don't want to stay here much longer. I'm worried about the snail. Not to mention, I'm also worried about law enforcement. Alright. So let's grab their phone book. Not that one. Their address book, I mean. Because that's always very useful. Because it's everyone they've got contacts with, usually. Dial. Number. Identify last caller. So we got the last caller. And numbers. We got the telephone number for this place. Okay, so that's your telephone number. Alright, so we got the last caller is this. Okay, so I think we've got what we're going to get here for right now. So let's get out of here. Hopefully without getting murked by a snail. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to look for a vent in this place. And just climb out the vent. I'm glad that camera's non-functional. So I'm looking for a camera, or for a vent. So I can just climb out the vent. And get out of here with hopefully not being seen by anyone. Okay, there's the vent there. The shopping list, I didn't even think to check here. Give me that paper clip so I can keep picking stuff. There's a wrench there. Alright, we do have a knife here. It's probably not the murder weapon, considering it's not horrifically covered in blood or anything like that. And it's only the victim's fingerprints on it. So I think we can rule that out. Okay, we've got your workplace information. And again, just Elliot's information on it. We've got your work schedule. We don't want to eat raw meat or anything. Sometimes you can find stuff in the trash that's meaningful, but not this time. There's your work schedule. Not that matters too much. You are currently not going to be showing up for work. Mostly with the being dead thing. Okay, we're going to take the milk, because I can drink that. We don't actually know. We don't know if it was the significant other. We don't know if it was a coworker. Alright, so let's get the vent, because also if that snail is in the building, it'll likely be between me and the exit. So if I jump in a vent, I can probably just shoot on past it. Alright. Yeah, no, I do like the high fidelity voxel graphics. And we're now currently causing a bunch of random people to have their homes invaded by the cops because we're banging around in the vents and they are hearing it and they're like, who goes there kind of thing. Okay, so this should take me towards the lobby. Cool. We're all chill. I did nothing suspicious. Have ourselves a little drink of water. And then litter. Alright. Now I need to be careful because there is a chance me and the snail are in a collision course with each other. Let's take the elevator. Let's be safe. Because I don't know if like the snail will go into the rooms if I close the door. Like I don't know if the snail can use the doors or not. I have no idea how fast it moves. I have no information about any of that. The snail has killed me twice today. Both times it was I was leaving the building and I just blasted right over it. Okay, so let's go stand on a park bench and see if that protects me from our snail friend. Alright. So, let's grab the address book, because that's... Actually, what's this telling me? Oh, I can choose between the things. Alright, so I got a thing for implanting stuff. So I can do psychological perception. An advanced visual ID system linked to an external system database allows acquisition of personal data to be extracted from citizens' mugshots. You will now extract citizens' height and from photo data. Socioeconomic perception. The advanced visual ID system linked to an external citizen database that allows you to acquire personal data to be extracted from citizens' mugshot. You'll be able to know the citizen's salary from their photo data. And they do have a side effect of invasion of privacy means citizens are 25% less likely to share information for free. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for that, because why would I not do these things? I think I have to go take that other ways. Alright, no sign of snail friend. Okay, so let's take 2 seconds, because we have Oscar is our current primary suspect. So let's go ahead, and there's Oscar. Oh, we can actually see. Who was the last phone call? So last phone call was 688-5620. So we have, you are our primary suspect right now. And let's see if we can't find that number. Is that a number that they knew? So 688-5620. And that would be Yin Yu. Is our other our other potential suspect. Oscar's the higher suspect because we believe there's a motive there, but this was the last one to call. Good, it does have their address. So let's check on Oscar. So we're gonna go ahead and... Oh, wait. Yeah, that's fine. Oscar, where are you? That are out there. Let's go ahead and pin that in case I need it again later. Alright. So, we're looking to see about Oscar, and see if we can't figure out, are they involved, whatever. What? Why are you... I guess you're just getting weirded out because it's too close behind you? So you're on the 10th floor. Let's go to that. Oh, also, even if you're behaving and everything, you can just get, like, straight up mugged at gunpoint and all that. Okay. So yeah, so that is Oscar's address. A couple of fingerprints on the door just to check. So let's knock on the door. We don't have to be violent to begin with. Inspect. So we got our unknown citizen here. That may or may not be Oscar. Talk to. Evening, what's your name? My name's Oscar Nielsen. Have you heard of anything unusual? Other than the state of the city? No. Do you know this person? Elliot. Yeah, that's my colleague, Elliot Simon. They kicked the bucket not long ago. How are you doing? Not so good. Everything hurts. Can you provide fingerprints for... she just was really... Sure, I guess I could. Can I come in and look around? Okay, I guess. What? I am surprised he was that cool with just letting me snoop about his house. Usually they won't let you do that. Let's see. Yeah, I covered the dealer. Got a bottle of whatever. Mia. I don't think that's gonna be related to anything. Don't mind me, Oscar. I'm rifling through your everything. They got your work schedule, in case you gotta sneak around past Oscar. Yep, so the pistol is not involved. Okay, there is wine bottle in there. Another bottle in there. Shopping list that we don't care about. If I take that, that's stealing. Right now, everything's cool, so let's keep it that way for the time being. Okay, so we got your information here. I can't stay in here much longer before he's going to get mad at me. So if I take those, I get in trouble. Dear whatever your name is, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a long time. I cannot read this at all. Send me a letter later. We can put that aside. This is the last time I write you. You said we'd always stay in touch, but 6 months and no word? Do you even care? Or do you love other friends out in the fields? Ones without alcoholism. Give me the paperclip. Okay, we've got a password for one of them. And handcuffs that I'd like to take. So if I... So we can't stay long. We are stealing stuff. Okay, so they wake up and they see me, we're in trouble. So let's figure out, was it this note? Okay, so it's Oscar's pin. Turning on the computer will wake him up, so that's kind of off the table. Yeah, so he didn't see anything that implies a murder weapon or anything, so Oscar, while it's not fully clear, it's looking pretty unlikely that Oscar is the one involved. Okay, so let's park here while I figure stuff out. Okay, so Oscar here is starting to look a little not suspicious. That's the one without information. So we've got this over here. We've also got these two here that are also potential suspects. Actually, weren't you? Yeah, because you're the spouse or whatever. So I believe you live in the same address. Oh, let's turn off the flashlight. All right, yeah, so Elliot, let's kind of rehash. We got a blood puddle here. Yeah, so we got a finger of Oscar there. Where did... Okay, 1 second. Show all connections. A bunch of random fingerprints. Yeah, so I've seen a bunch of fingerprints. But none of them were associated... Well, actually... So Oscar fingerprint were at the scene of the crime. Why don't we have a pin there? We'll need to double check that. We've got Oscar's fingerprints, which is good news. Yeah, so we got your work ID, we got your wallet. There was the blood pool, we didn't find a murder weapon. We got all information about Oscar, their work rotation, that they have an alcoholism problem and they haven't been keeping up with some friends. None of that makes him a suspect of murder, though, just being a crappy friend. And the suspect does have black hair, so it could be Oscar in the sense that they do have black hair. All right, but we don't have anything that sticks them with it. We might need to go... Can't see anything. We might need to go and check their workplace. So both Oscar, so you work at Jade Limited, and you work at Jade Limited. So I think the next thing would be check the workplace and see if we find anything like. I doubt we'll find the murder weapon at Jade Limited, but going to Jade Limited, we might find something where it's like, hey man, I told you to, you know, do this, or like, hey, I know what you're doing with my wife, or whatever the deal is, because they'll usually have some kind of motive. Here's a question. So Oscar, what was your address? 1102? How does your numbering work on this thing? No, don't pick. I'm not trying to pick. That's okay, hang on. Calm down. Okay, so that's lower there. Down here? Alright, I thought, the key I stole for their house was gonna give me mailbox 2. There's Snail Friend. There he is. There's certain death right there. Certain inevitable and violent death creeping up on me. There's actually a little fork. Is this a fork of Project I have no idea what this. This is Shadows of a Doubt, or Shadows of Doubt. Came out 2 years ago. So yeah, Snail Friend actually does get a little bit of a. Everyone's yelling at me to get out of here. Oh yeah, you're right. It would be a good time to see if Snail Friend can get me while I'm standing on something. So let's get an eye on the Snail Friend. So there's Snail Friend. Alright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run over here to a park bench. And we're going to see if Snail Friend can climb. Where are you, Snail? Come on, buddy. The sign is in Russian above that? I mean, maybe. So, the snail's pathing is not amazing. It is vaguely moving forward it, but I've noticed, like, if I walk over here, it'll work its way over here and then come down. If I go back towards center, it'll go back towards the middle and then come down. So it's got some pretty rubbish pathing. But the question is, if I climb up on something, will the snail still reach me? Because if so, then, you know, that's fair. But if we run the problem where the snail can't reach me, then it gives us the workaround. Because, yeah, that'd be the question. I don't think it'll be able to climb up too complicated of terrain, but if it can't hit me... Wake up upwards? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because I'm curious if it can't get up here. That would be your workaround of when you want to do like your scouting your crime thing. You just jump on a bench and just stare at it. So I'm guessing it's no, because right now it's circling and not actually getting up to me. So let's go over here. Next test. Can you, little snail, open doors? So it seems to actually be moving away from me right now with the door open. Okay. So, it looks like the snail's actually fairly limited on what it can do. So it's all things like more gotta just keep an eye out for it, but it seems like the snail can't handle complex terrain, and that it doesn't seem like it seems like when it closes the door and stuff like that, it just kind of goes, oh, never mind. Because it can't path. So I'm assuming the snail is extremely limited on its functionality. And so it's just a matter of when you're running around between buildings, being careful, and that, you know, while I'm in a vulnerable place like that, that I don't mess with it. Okay, so that is locked. Now I got a couple options here. One option is I can just try to violently break in and enter. The good news is it doesn't look like there's an actual camera facing this way at all. There's going to be a camera right there. So I got to break in this door. Actually, let's not break in the door. Okay. All right. Okay, so can we make out which room's the camera room? So that's just the offices. Oh, the camera room's over there. There's a lot of cameras moving around. Crap. Keypad. Okay. I got some difficulty here. I need to see if I can't get an admin password or something like that. Because right now, I'm just dodging around these. Got a key for their storage room. Just gonna pop in here. Now this one, since I'm already doing a bunch of stuff that's illegal, there's no reason to not do it. Let's see, affirmations list for this week. You are successful. Thanks, man. I appreciate your support. What time is it in game? What time is in game? What are you doing here at midnight? Go home. Like, you're staring at me, but not actually aggroing me. I don't know what to do right. I can't do anything. She's literally standing here. Oh, she's got a gun on her. She's an organ donor. Oh, please, 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 please. Not like this, please. Why would you lock the door? Oh, we're so dead. Oh, wait. We have the snail thing. So the problem is, I can't actually push my way through the door because I can't run. So go ahead and take your fingerprint. Because that's because they have like the snail tracking us thing. Yeah, the immortality thing, because of the snail, does very much change the entire dynamic of this whole thing. Where was your note? There's your note. Okay, that's the same password. That's the same password. We have a diamond. Crumpled paper, there's nothing on it. We've got the business card for you. Let's see. Let's go to our inventory. Drank a bunch. Okay. Gonna enjoy some fairy bread and milk. What do charcoal tablets do in this game? Because I feel like with all the things I'm being subjected to right now, I need everything. Perfume. I apparently drank the perfume. I feel like anything that happens now from here is self-inflicted. Okay, so we got your profile. Alright. So that is nothing related from this. Okay, they're just being romantic. Nothing. I really just clicked on that. Alright. So apparently drinking a lot of perfume, real rough on the old stomach. Real bad. So... Alright, so I got all the information about Oscar. That's her employee record. We can go here. And that's all the information about her victim. Now we've got Aisha or whatever their name is. So I've got all their information. Which is the person who we assaulted and then filled us with bullet holes. As you do. Is there an Aelin, though? Oh, I think the snail snuck up on me? The door didn't open. So, I don't know. I can't go under the door because there's no gap. Maybe it could come through, like, the vent or something? Alright. So the snail mode is interesting. It's not really as exciting as I thought it'd be. Because it honestly just seems like I spontaneously pass out sometimes, is how it actually feels like. It doesn't genuinely feel like I'm getting, like, surprised. It's like, oh, I guess I passed out. Granted, that time I actually heard something that made, like, a slime sound right at the end there. And that was about it. Yeah, I need to go and get this installed. Do I lose my inventory? I think I only lost something I grabbed illegally. Yeah, I would definitely say the snail thing, while an interesting gimmick, the fact that it makes you immune to all other damage kind of takes away from it. And the fact that, like, very genuine, like, all we need to do to avoid it is just climb up like that, and then we're immune to it. So it's kind of just always stopping with that. And the only place it gets real dangerous is when I'm at a computer. The other thing you could potentially do to avoid it is make it a point to, like, deliberately, when you're on the map, say the person I'm looking for, they're in this building. It would be to, like, go up here and work on stuff here till we see the snail, then run down there and then have all the time in the world, because the snail is pretty slow. As far as the loan shark thing goes, I haven't had them show up at all. Okay, so we're going to get height data about people by looking at their mugshot. Yep, so now when I go to any of the employee boards, I can just instantly know about people's height. On the other hand, because I've installed that, people are a lot less likely to tell me information. Oh, you're closing up. Yeah, so if I go in here... and I walk up to this board now... I instantly know about this person's height. So if we look at Desmond here now, because I got that thing installed, I know their exact height and everything. I happen to actually apparently already know most of the information about them. This is kind of messed up that you could, like, have an implant that is like like a citizen database that tells you basically almost everything about people in the area. Because that gives you, like, the weird motivation to now walk to, like, all the businesses and just go up to their, job boards and get all that stuff. Okay. But yeah, so what I'm probably going to do here, chat, is we might be switching up games in a moment. I do very much like Shadows of Doubt. We've been checking out the modifiers. They're pretty cool. Yeah, here's Snail Boy. For those who haven't seen it, that's the snail. That's the thing that we're running from. But we have kind of learned if I just climb up on stuff, the snail is powerless. It could do nothing. It's weak and feeble. I'm getting slightly concerned as it actually is continuing. There we go. Yeah, so the pathing on the snail gets pretty thing. I wish I actually got to see where I got killed a moment ago. I'm assuming the snail caught us. But, it's also possible that it seems like with the way they handled the disables combat from everything but the snail, it seems like you still get all the other negative modifiers. So it's also possible that all those, like, bleeding penalties and all that did ultimately get kill me. Yeah, so that's what happens if I touch the snail. But yeah, so it's kind of a cool thing. I could see someone doing, like, a permadeath snail mode as a thing. But yeah, I think in reality it's just you stand on stuff. And then otherwise... I'm detained? Why am I detained? Oh, I'm detained because I haven't paid my medical bills. Right, that makes sense. But yeah, but otherwise, ultimately... I don't think it's a mode I would put a lot of time into. And unfortunately, like, we also did the thing where I owe money to a loan shark. But I don't see how I pay the loan shark, nor have I had the person come after me for not paying it. Because it's definitely been more than an in-game day, so we are... Get away from me. Alright. But I haven't figured out how, like, I pay the loan shark or been accosted by them. Now, I'm assuming what'll happen is, like, there's a handful of loyal people to the loan shark that if I... Did you change your clothes at the dumpster? Lady! I know life is hard, but... Definitely feels weird that you just suddenly switch into, like, a pretty red dress at some random dumpster. Yeah, can we figure out real fast on the map? Because usually one of the buildings will have, like, a name where they imply it's got, like, a seedy underground or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played enough, and I never got into the dealing with, because you've always had the ability to take a loan. Which always had implications, but I don't remember. Because I never needed to. Like, the game can be pretty rough on the money side of things. Yeah, I kind of want to see, like, the implications of not paying the loan. I'm looking for someone to accost me, because it's been probably 2-3 in-game days have gone by. Or something like that. Nah, maybe it's not been that long. Maybe I'm just overestimating the time. Yeah, so a lot of times when you go downstairs inside these buildings, it immediately goes to hell. With a lot of doors not even having locks on them and all that. It is a place you can snag paper clips and all that for nothing. It's also a thing that, when you go into these places, you can genuinely... Like, when you buy your first apartment, it's usually a place like this. One of these random apartments downstairs that are hot garbage. It looks like straight up like a padded room. Yeah, as you can see, most of these are dormant. Except the one here... that had overlap... Oh, this is the phone thing. Yeah, this is another thing you can do, is you can actually break into there and, like, track down the previous call logs. So it's just another way you can collect evidence. Yeah, so it's interesting is, I guess because the combat's turned off, those things aren't shooting at me. But anyways, yeah, so we checked out the modifiers. The modifiers are slick. They do add to the game, I would say. They definitely give you some variety. The rat mode was kind of interesting. It definitely is not a good fit to do rat and the snail together. I did find the rat to be a bit annoying because anyone sees you and it's just a constant headache. And then there's stuff like if you want to take individual jobs. If you want to take individual jobs, you go up to these boards, which means going into these places and have to, like, work your way around people and all that. So, it is kind of an interesting challenge mode. I'm glad they added it. Can you actually change the modes in here while you're doing this? Game modifiers. Yeah, so you can... It does look like you could change these while in there, which I'm curious how that even works. Like, if I turned off Snail Nemesis now, I guess it's just gone. If I turn on Fame and Fortune... Does it now mean I'll be accosted by people because I'm a famous detective? Maybe not. You might have to, like, wait for stuff. But regardless, if you didn't see all the modes they added, this is the big update they've got. So they did add the permadeath, straightforward. Iron Man means you only get one save, so you can't save scum. Film noir just makes it black and white. Short-sighted makes it so if you're not wearing, if you don't have glasses in your inventory, everything's blurry, and if you get into a fight, you can drop your glasses. Gambling debt means you start with a huge amount of debt, but there's a loan shark you have to keep paid up. House arrest means once you have an apartment, it is like the security inside the building your apartment is will violently respond if you're not in your apartment. Fame and fortune means people run up to you and ask you for your autograph and want to talk to you. Snail nemesis is the thing we have been doing, which is where the snail just kind of tracks you down. The only thing is, it makes you immortal from all other combat damage, and I get the necessity of doing that for that mode, but in a lot of ways that does take a lot away from the game, where just trespassing in random places is just not a big deal. And so there's like there's definitely like it's a gimmick with that one, and then there's Rat Detective. Let's actually see what happens when I turn that on. They've turned on Rat Detective. Yeah, so Rat Detective, now I can run up walls and ceilings, but if people see me... Oh, the famous thing's still in place. You're that investigator. Yep, that's me. I knew it. It was you. Okay, so now it's just glitching out because I'm turning things on and off. But what'll happen is random people will run up and then violently respond to me. Exactly, like this one. Because I'm a rat, this person is running up and cutting me. But yeah, so they got a lot of really cool modifiers. I think it's an excellent addition to the game, but maybe people who are like super into it could see doing like a full playthrough that way. I don't I don't think that's something I would personally do, versus I would see potentially, like, very genuinely, one of the things I might do is I could definitely see going for, like, doing a run on my own time, not on stream, where my only goal is to take that loan shark and pay it off. Because that seems to be, like, a normal game mode. You're just starting at a disadvantage. With that said, what we're going to do is we're going to switch games here. So for those watching over on YouTube, the stream is going to end and come back up because that's how switching categories works over there. But I have enjoyed kind of popping back in and checking it out. We did, like, that's probably our 4th time playing